This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good afternoon, Tuscaloosa, Internet world, West Alabama. How we doing today on this Monday? It is the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com. I am Joe Gaither. You are the listener, the viewer, listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon, or viewing us on the Bama Central YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody who is joining us on their favorite podcast platform or wherever you find the show at Joe Gaither 6 on the social media machines. You can find the show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube right there at Joe Gaither 6 as well. Going to have a fun show today and invite you guys to jump in and join us on the show today in a couple of different ways. We're obviously going to invite you in on the comments. As always, you can leave us a comment, question, query, or complaint right there at Joe Gaither 6. We're going to talk about Alabama's basketball game against the Arkansas Razorbacks, almost letting it slip, but passing the maturity test over in Fayetteville, winning in Bud Walton Arena by 4, hanging on. But winning the game, and that's the key. So we'll talk about Alabama and Arkansas. We'll talk about Auburn losing to Florida, setting up a potentially 1 versus 2 matchup this weekend in Coleman Coliseum. Will you sell an arm and a leg to get into Coleman Coliseum? I will. I will cut off my arm and my leg to be in there because I think it might be the most intense, the most exciting Iron Bowl of basketball that, at least in my lifetime. You guys, if you know of another one you want to nominate, feel free to jump in the comment section. Let us know about a great time that you had at an Iron Bowl of basketball. But I think that this Saturday might be the most intense, the most high-stakes Iron Bowl of basketball that has ever been played between Alabama and Auburn. We'll talk about that as well. I want to tell you, we do not have Mason Woods today. We love you, Mason Woods. Mason is over at the Home Depot. He works at the Home Depots on Mondays, and we usually do the show later. But I am driving up to Nashville tonight to watch Monday Night Raw. You guys know that's my guilty pleasure. We love me some wrestling, so we will be hitting the road here shortly to watch Monday Night Raw, and we will catch up with Mason tomorrow. Again, Tuesday through Friday, we'll have Mason at our normal time. We're probably, this is a good time to expand on that. We're probably going to set our start times a lot harder because we have a phone line. We are going to start tomorrow, I think, at 8 a.m. I think we're going to start Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m., hard start on the social media machines. And then on Mondays, to accommodate Mason and his other job, we're going to go at 3 p.m. So that's going to be the schedule going forward. 3 o'clock on Mondays, and then 8 a.m. Tuesday through Friday, talking all things Alabama sports, covering everything for you right here at Bama Central and BamaCentral.com. We are doing that because on Friday, we set up a phone line. Finally, you can call into the show. A lot of you guys have been talking, Joe, we miss you on the radio. We miss being able to talk to you on the phone. You can call the show now. I believe it's working right now during this show. 205-462-7340. You got to type extension 800. The little lady's going to come up and go, welcome. If you know your party's extension, dial it now. And that's where you hit 800, and it's going to patch you right into the show. It's very, very easy. Now, when we are not live, you can still use that number, 205-462-7340, extension 800, and we will collect your voicemails. We're happy to collect your voicemails because we want to know what you are thinking, and that's just going to be a great area, a great way for you to get involved in the show. We took a couple of voicemails over the weekend, one, I think on Friday, just as somebody trying to hang out and have fun on the voicemail line. You'll hear that here in just a second. We took a voicemail at halftime of the Alabama basketball game. You will know exactly what they're talking about when the middle voicemail plays. And we took a great call, a great voicemail after Alabama won. So we got 3 voicemails in the voicemail box this weekend, and we appreciate everybody who jumped in and joined us. 205-462-7340. Extension 800. You can get involved in the show. or you can get involved on the voicemail line and have your voicemails played as we continue. So we want to, since I don't have Mason Woods and we want to drive the voicemails, I'm going to start by playing these 3 voicemails, thanking you guys, and then we will get into Alabama's win over the Arkansas Razorbacks. Here's a little bit of fun, from the weekend. Let's see if that works right there.
The boy better get to winning some football games this year. We're going to have him down at Mobile State. That's more what he seems fit for. He needs to get off the golf course, quit wearing shorts, learn how to dress, and learn how to coach football. Roll Tide.
Turnovers. That must end.
What's going on, Joe and Mason? Huge win Saturday night. Doesn't get more grittier or gutsy than this. For John Calipari, I mean, retire while you can, boss. The only thing that's hurting you right now is your legacy, and it's getting worse and worse by the game. I do have 2 questions, though. I feel like Aiden Terrell should get more minutes. He has 7 points, 3 rebounds, and only 7 minutes of game time. I just feel like he needs more time in the game. I mean, you might disagree, you might not. I just want to know y'all's thoughts on that. And then the better question is what team in the country is going to be more prepared for March Madness than Alabama? When you have to go on the road to Arkansas, you got to go on the road to Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky. You got to go on the road to Mississippi State. I mean, Auburn, they don't have to go on the road to Tennessee. They don't have to go on the road to Missouri. They don't have to play at Mississippi State. I just feel like that this gauntlet that we're going down right now, this 9-game stretch, is only going to prepare us more for the tournament, more than any team in the country. So that's all I got to say. Roll Tide. I can't wait to listen to y'all on Monday.
Okay, those are 3. I mean, I appreciate everybody who called in. You got a great call at the end. You got maybe a funny joke call at the start. I don't know what that was about. DeBoer, not really a big golfer. And you guys know I don't care how he dresses. But, of course, he's got to get to winning. So I agree with you on the first caller there. Middle caller called at halftime. I was watching the basketball game here. Well, obviously, I didn't go to Fayetteville. Katie Wyndham. Great job, Katie Wyndham. Katie Wyndham drove over to Arkansas to cover the Alabama-Arkansas game in person for us at BamaCentral.com. Make sure you follow Katie Wyndham, Katie Wyndham _ on the Twitter machine, as she is big boss lady. She was over there, and so I was at home watching the Alabama-Arkansas game. Middle call came in right at halftime. I think, Alabama, how many turnovers did you have at halftime? Just absolutely atrocious. You were on pace for a really, really bad night in the turnover department. 9 turnovers in the first half, and so my man's called right there, turnovers. Got to cut that out. And he was right. Well, Alabama only had what in the second half? 3 or 4? Because you ended up with, 5 in the second half. So you ended up with 14 total. Not the worst number. We like it 12 or fewer, but still not good. Not good. So your middle call right there on the turnovers. And that's exactly what I envision. I envision with the voicemail line when the Bama guys are playing, whether it be football, baseball, softball, basketball, whatever sport you guys are watching, you can call and let us know what you think about what's going on in the game. And we will ultimately play that on the next show possible. 205-462-7340, extension 800 for the voicemail line. Or as I'm live right now, you can jump into the show. And then the last call. My last call was on really reacting to the win, and that'll set us up for our conversation today. Our last call first, you blast John Calipari. I love you. Thank you very much. Look, John Calipari, Coach Oates said it before the game, and obviously was very respectful after the game. John Calipari is probably best recruiter ever, one of the best recruiters in the world, one of the best recruiters in college basketball history. But I am of the opinion that the game has a little bit passed you by. And the same sort of thing on Saturday. I mean, you got to give Calipari a lot of credit to get his guys to dig back into the game. They're down, 17, 18 points with just over 6 minutes remaining. That's a time where you can easily pack it in. And trust me, at this point, I was moved off to an assignment. I'm watching the game, and we're at BamaCentral. We're behind the glass, and we're thinking, okay, they're about to win. They're going to be number 1 next week. Alabama's going to be number 1, and Auburn might be number 2. And so my boss, Chris Walsh, love you, Chris Walsh. Thank you so much for having me. Put me on a little wild goose chase. Not really a goose chase, but wanted to get a list together of number 1 versus number 2 games in college basketball history. I had the list all the way through 2016. I had to go find 17 through 23. Only a couple of more games to dig up. So that basically distracted me the last 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm sitting here typing this list up of number 1 versus number 2s and who's won more games, number 1 over number 2. And Kentucky's all over this list. Duke, North Carolina, all over this list. UCLA, all over this list. This will be the first, if the AP poll breaks correctly in the matter of an hour or so, will be the first number 1 versus number 2 game in SEC history. So here we go. I was sent on that mission to track down kind of track down the history of the ones and twos. And I look up and I'm hearing, the Arkansas fans are getting into it. Arkansas fans are rah-rah-rahing. Let's see if I can find this run tracker from 629 up until that Mark Sears bucket, because Mark Sears really said, nah, we are ending this comeback attempt. Let's see. There is Mark Sears bucket. Let's see, 629 though. Bo Diabate layup to take it to 17. Arkansas, between Alabama opening it up to 18 points, going all the way down to Mark Sears' layup, which re-stretched it from 3 to 5. Arkansas had sucked it all the way down to a 3-point deficit. It was 76-79. That was. How many minutes of play is this? 4 minutes of play. Arkansas goes on a 19-6 run. And to me, this is the one. I had somebody at church ask me, is this the year that Alabama's going to win the championship? And look, you cannot predict that. I appreciate the question, absolutely. But is this the year? And I thought, well, it can be, just like last year could have been and the year before could have been, and probably next year, the way that Coach Oates is recruiting. It can be. This year absolutely can be. But I am so just apprehensive to believe in this team due to lulls like this. You have a 4-minute stretch where you're up 18 points and you just let it just kind of waste away. You give up 19 points in 4 minutes. Your defense goes out the window. Basically, you're up 18. You think that the game is over. Your defense goes out the window, and Arkansas digs back into the game. Now, you're talented enough to, they've dug back into the game. We got to get the ball to Mark Sears. We got to get a good shot. And they did. They worked themselves into a good shot down in the end, and Mark gets himself a layup, and bam, you've restretched it to 5, and you're on from there. You're at basically 2.5 minutes left of playing this 5-point lead. And you'll end up winning by 4. I know a lot of people upset. Alabama favored by 4.5. Do not gamble, because the Vegas guys are going to get you just like they got you on Saturday. If you bet Alabama minus the 4.5, not good. Alabama winning by 4, just kind of a bad beat there, especially up by 18 with 6 minutes to go. That's my apprehension with this basketball team. You look at them 1 through how many guys you got healthy right now? You didn't have Darian Reed. You didn't have Houston Millette. So you're 12. You're at 10, right? Yeah. You got 10 guys. And Latrell as well. So you got 9 guys. You're at 9 guys that are just as talented of a 9 as you can get. Darian Reed probably going to get back. I think they're going to rest him. I think they're going to rest him as much as possible until he's actually fully 100%. I think that a little bit of what he's dealing with, nagging injury. He talked about after the Georgia game, his pain level flared back up. I think that you're just going to have to get off your feet, Darian Reed, which hurts your rotation. But look, you're 9 deep still. You look at this team, 9, 10 deep, and they are still as good as any team you've seen in Tuscaloosa. They went into Bud Walton Arena. And no, I don't think Arkansas is particularly great. Obviously, they've had a better stretch. They won, 3 out of 4 before that game. So now they're 3 out of 5. Big, huge win at Kentucky. They're fine in the stretch. And you saw Zvonimir Ivicic, 15 points in the first half. Really, Alabama struggled to get out on him. And if if I'm Coach Calipari, I'm leaning into this stretch five. It was Vladimirovicic role. You saw Eddie Thiero gets in there and he has a good game, but Eddie's not a 3-point shooter. I think when you lean on a guy like Boogie Flan, who's so young, I don't think Boogie's a bad player, but I think that you lean on a guy who's so young, you get susceptible to mistakes and susceptible to the ball sticking a little bit. Arkansas, just a collective. We talked about it on Friday, a hodgepodge of talent. I don't know if the puzzle pieces fit quite right. So with that being kind of the outline, you work yourself into a really good performance. And we're all thinking, oh, man, you saw Duke go down, you saw Auburn go down, and Alabama's about to cakewalk to a 15, 20-point win over in Fayetteville. But no. Something in this team, and that's my biggest apprehension, because can they beat anybody? Yeah, they can beat Texas on Tuesday, and they can come back home and beat Auburn. But I don't really have a whole lot of faith in the maturity level of the team. I don't have a whole lot of faith that the team will go 40 minutes. Now, granted, they're like, oh, why do we have to keep playing 40 minutes? We're up 17, we're up 18. We worked ourselves into a big double-digit lead. Well, you did, but the game's still going. And so, again, back to my conversation with my friend on Sunday. They asked if Alabama can win it all. And, yeah, they absolutely can win it all. Very talented enough to do that. Good enough offense to do that. And really, you have enough tools defensively to do that as well. But my apprehension is rooted in the fact that almost every game it feels like there's a black mark somehow, some way. Not that the black mark has cost them wins. No, great. I mean, end of the day, you're winning games. You're still what? You've lost one SEC game. Oh my God, I have too many tabs open. Let's go click there, and you're playing Texas on Tuesday. So what is the actual official record? 9-1 in the league. You're 20-3. You're playing well. 20 great results despite almost every game thinking, well, you lapsed defensively in the second half, or, well, you struggle with turnovers again, or many times this year. Oh, your free throw shooting wasn't that good this game. I mean, the 3-point shooting wasn't that good down over at Arkansas. 5 of 19, 26%, not really that good. Now you're 12 of 18 from the free throw line, which is okay. You'd like, 14 of 18 would have made you feel a whole lot better. But good from the free throw line, good enough. Really, for Alabama, you got after it in the paint. And I think that maybe that's the difference this year is the varying ability, Mark, LeBaron, Aiden, their ability to get into the lane and finish at the rim, and or find Grant Nelson, find Jaron Stevenson, find Cliff Amore right there at the hole for these dunks, for these layups. I just think that the talent is still so high. The ability is still top 5 in the country, top 3 in the country. I mean, look at the country. It's really Alabama, Auburn, and Duke have separated themselves. And I know this weekend Auburn and Duke lost, so that just defaults us into Alabama, bam, best team in the country. That feels icky to say. And maybe it's just the the scarred Alabama fan in me that have seen out the Alabama basketball program up just when you fly close to the sun, fall away. This will be the 4th time in program history today that Alabama will be the number 1 team in the AP poll. Coach Oates did it twice, and then you did it in 2002, I believe, as well for 2 weeks. So this will be the 4th time you have ascended to the mountaintop, but I still am struggling to believe. I'm still struggling to take myself to, yeah, they can beat anybody and they will beat anybody. I'm at the place where they can beat anybody. Totally there. Will they? My confidence level in the attention to detail, in the focus, in the we're dialed into the mission at hand is still not there. I don't know what that says about Mark, about Grant, about the leadership on the team. I don't know what that says about Coach Oates and his ability to communicate his message. Now, look, 20-3. Things are working. Things are moving. We got to remember, this isn't football. Undefeated record is not is not really realistic. It's silly. I just am seeing these last 7 or 8 games. You got 7 more games in conference play, right? No, 8 more games in conference play. It's 7 after the Texas game. 8 more games in conference play. You just see a lot of landmines ahead, a lot of potentially, if you are not on your game, if you are turning the basketball over, if you are not coming out ready to play, it's going to be a big problem. So I'm cautiously optimistic about this basketball team. It's a huge win on Saturday. Look, I think a lot of focus is going to be on the squandered lead or the squandered blowout. I mean, you didn't squander the lead. They never took the lead. They never overtook you. But we were about to cruise to a 15, 20-point win to, we kind of hung on here towards the end. Now, look at silver lining playbook. I mean, it's great to be tested a little bit. It's great to be tested and have a close game where you got to, hey man, you got to dial back in. You got to get back on the horse and make some free throws, get some defensive stops, and have some positive possessions at the end of the game. So, I mean, look, you can take it whatever way you want to. You can say, they had a close win in Bud Walton Arena. It's a tough place to play, and it is a really challenging place to play. I'm hopeful for this team, but still just can't get myself all the way to, every night they're going to be unbeatable. I think that this team still has a lot of room to grow, and maybe that's the encouraging part. A lot of room to grow in the defensive efficiency and not turn the basketball over, and really just playing for a full 40 minutes. On the night, Alabama's defense, let's look at that. Alabama's defense, you hold Arkansas to 1.181, so really not good. Your first half, 1.25. Second half, 1.184. Did I? Yeah, 1.184. So better in the second half, just barely. 1.18, yeah, just barely. As far as points per possession, now you held them to 34 points in the first half. It was a matter of speed and pace there. Really, Arkansas tried to get you going, try to play into your hands a little bit in the second half. Ultimately, it's good to win. And I'm excited about this week. Because you stay out west a little bit west. You went from Arkansas to Texas. The fellas, the program flew out to Austin just after the Saturday night game. They decided not to come back to Tuscaloosa and then go to Texas. I think that's a smart decision because it just logistically makes sense. They're going to be playing Texas on Tuesday at 6 or is it 8? It's at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on ESPN out there in the Moody Center. And Texas took a challenging loss to Vanderbilt this past weekend. That was the game that I was really assigned to cover. Vanderbilt weathered a lot of Texas runs. Texas, Trey Jones is not his name. Trey Johnson was the number 5-star recruit. He was, on Alabama's radar, ended up going to Texas. He's their leading scorer, freshman, 19 points a game, and really, really talented player. He had a good little game against Vanderbilt this Saturday. I just think Texas probably dealing with a lot of the same issues that Vanderbilt's dealing with, depth issues in the league. It's really, really challenging to win in the SEC. I think the depth issues plagued them this weekend at Vanderbilt. And, Alabama, you're going to have to get into them on Tuesday. You're going to have to defend Trey Johnson. You're going to have to stay on the boards. Arthur Kaluma, transfer from Kansas State, is really the one to watch there. We'll get into the Alabama-Texas game tomorrow. We'll get Mason back in here. We're going to get Mason's thoughts on the Arkansas game and really on the performance. If I am silly to not be on board yet, I'm on board. But as far as blind confidence, I'm not there. I got people asking, are they going to win a national championship? I would still be hesitant to say yes to that answer. And maybe that's just the dynamics of the NCAA tournament. It probably has a lot to do with it. Not seeing the draw yet is a big factor. And not knowing how this next month is going to play out, month and change is going to play out as we get into March. But Alabama on a great track. Really, really on a great track. You are with Saturday's games. Oh boy, with Saturday's games, you have basically crawled back into a tie for first place due to Auburn losing. You've crawled into a tie for first place in the SEC, and I think that look, Iron Bowl basketball is going to be really, really, really challenging on Saturday, but if you can beat Texas and you could beat Auburn at home on Saturday, you will have moved yourself into solo first place in the league. That'll put you at 6 games left, and yeah, the last 6 games are just really, really brutal. After that Auburn game, you're at Missouri at 15th. these are last week's rankings, but still ranked at 15 Missouri versus 14 Kentucky versus 22 Mississippi State, at 4 Tennessee versus 6 Florida, and at number 1 Auburn. Obviously, those numbers will all change with an updated AP poll, but you get the point. The last 7 games are absolutely brutal. Winning against Texas and winning home against Auburn sets you up to win Nate Oates' 3rd SEC regular season title. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, will that be exciting. Celebrating that SEC regular season championship in Neville Arena on the last day. Imagine that an Alabama fan would pay a lot of money to experience that as we get into this final month of basketball season. All right, so I'm going to play the voicemail line once again, and then we're going to transfer. We're going to transition over into the Super Bowl because I don't want to really get too deep into the show without Mason Woods. I want to give him a chance to react to the weekend action. We're live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. You can find us right here off of McFarland Boulevard, 205. You can call them at 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs. Derek and his team would love to talk to you. You got real people upstairs, not AI, not automated machinery. Red Reese and Victoria will be happy to talk to you at 205-758-3391. They'd love to chat with you about any concerns you have about your car insurance, your auto, your life insurance, your home insurance, really anything in the insurance world. They can help you out. Call and see how much Derek can save you today. 205-758-3391. And, of course, we are pushing our new phone line on the show, 205-462-7340. You can call right now. We are live, extension 800, or you can call and leave us a voicemail when we are not live using the same number, 205-462-7340, extension 800. Leave us a voicemail, and you can be heard on the show just like this.
The boy better get to winning some football games this year. We're going to have him down at Mobile State. That's more what he seems fit for. He needs to get off the golf course, quit wearing shorts, learn how to dress, and learn how to coach football. Roll Tide.
Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. That must end.
What's going on, Joe and Mason? Huge win Saturday night. Doesn't get more grittier or gutsy than this. For John Calipari, I mean, retire while you can, boss. The only thing that's hurting you right now is your legacy, and it's getting worse and worse by the game. I do have 2 questions, though. I feel like Aiden Terrell should get more minutes. He has 7 points, 3 rebounds, and only 7 minutes of game time. I just feel like he needs more time in the game. I mean, you might disagree, you might not. I just want to know y'all's thoughts on that. And then the better question is what team in the country is going to be more prepared for March Madness than Alabama? When you have to go on the road to Arkansas, you got to go on the road to Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky. You got to go on the road to Mississippi State. I mean, Auburn, they don't have to go on the road to Tennessee. They don't have to go on the road to Missouri. They don't have to play at Mississippi State. I just feel like that this gauntlet that we're going down right now, this 9-game stretch, is only going to prepare us more for the tournament, more than any team in the country. So that's all I got to say. Roll Tide. I can't wait to listen to you all on Monday.
To that third caller's point, I didn't answer the question about Aiden Terrell. I thought Aiden Terrell I think he's growing up game by game, but I think every single time you see him out there is a positive step forward for him. 8 minutes, as the caller said, 8 minutes, 7 points, 3 rebounds. I think that as you continue going down the stretch of conference play and getting into the tournament, his maturity level, increased maturity level is basically increased comfort in the system is going to be a huge asset. I mean, how many programs can have a McDonald's All-American really just growing into his own in the second half of the season? And I think that's what you're seeing in Aiden Sherrill. Love what you're seeing out of him. To his question about more minutes, I think he answered it himself about where do you find them? Where do you find them between Cliff? I mean, Cliff played 22. Grant Nelson, you're not going to take him off the floor, played 28. You got Jaron Stevenson, ended up, how many did you have, Jaron? Jaron with 22. 5 rebounds for Jaron, 4 points. I mean, maybe you're going to get some of those minutes from Jaron, but you're really not asking him to do the same exact thing. You're really asking him to play backup minutes to Cliff Amore, and I think that he has shown that he can do that, and I think he is showing that he is getting better and better in that role, playing those backup minutes to Cliff Amore to really give Cliff's in foul trouble, or Cliff's just not quite there right now. Whatever the case may be, I think that Aiden Sherrill's ascension is very, very important for this basketball team. All right, let's keep going here. We want to talk about the Super Bowl real quick. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Jalen Hurts, and we're going to talk about Kendrick Lamar. Those two things are going to finish our show today. We will welcome Mason Woods back into the program tomorrow to keep us on track. But since I don't have Mason, I will go off the rails here at the end about Kendrick Lamar. You guys can let me know what you thought about the halftime show at Joe Gaither 6 or by calling 205-462-7340, extension 800. You can leave your thoughts on the show or jump in and join me. I'm pretty positive I got it set up correctly so I can hear you right here and bring you right in onto the show. But I want to talk about Jalen Hurts. Just what a guy. Sorry, what a guy. Here we go. Fanboy moment. Jalen Hurts is probably my favorite Nick Saban player, my favorite Alabama player ever, due to his entire story. Last night we were watching the Super Bowl, and I had the pleasure of watching it with the Pets, and I had the pleasure of being on call for BamaCentral. So I wrote the Jalen Hurts Super Bowl MVP piece, just a little quick news right there, and I wrote the Devontae Smith first Alabama Super Bowl touchdown. Eagles absolutely dominate the Chiefs. And the Eagles, what a perfect game plan. What a perfect approach to the game. They played the slowest anaconda style that you could have played, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Pounding the rock on first down, giving it to Saquon Barkley over and over and over again. Let me see this little box score right here. How many did you actually get? Saquon took 25 carries, and people were like, oh, he bottled up Saquon. Look, 25 carries for 57 yards. Yeah, you say the yardage wasn't good, but it was the method. It was obviously the purpose of offense is to move the football, right? But also, you give the ball to Saquon Barkley 25 times to bleed the clock. Oh my gosh, they bled the clock. They rushed the ball 45 times on the night. 45 times, 135 yards, 3 yards a carry. You're like, that's not really that good, Joe. But the fact that you stayed with it, 45 carries, and 3 of them were kneels at the end of the game. So it's 42 carries. I think before those kneels, it was 42 carries, 139 yards. And you're like, that's not really that great. Well, look what the Chiefs did. Yeah, their yards per carry was 4.5 yards a carry, so much better. But they only handed the ball off 11 times. 11 times for 49 yards. The Eagles put on an offensive masterclass, in my opinion, of patience. They said, okay, we're going up against Patrick Mahomes, high-flying offense. Well, and their offense hadn't really been that good throughout the entire year. But you know their reputation. You know Mahomes can fly down the field any second he wants to. And so because of this, we've got a great offensive line. We've got the best running back in football. We like our quarterback, but we'd rather him play in the system than outside the system. And look, That's not a knock on Jalen Hurts. You want all your quarterbacks to play within themselves. You want all the quarterbacks to play within the system. And Jalen Hurts, how can we do that? Well, we can do that by staying on time. We can do that by milking the clock, by controlling field position. And that's exactly what they did. Oh my God. I mean, first drive, you're pounding. It's 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, whatever the case may be. And you guys expect, tush push. We're going to throw it right down the field. Bam. AJ Brown gets an offensive pass interference. But let's be honest, that throw was an absolute dot to AJ Brown. I think they got the call right. All right. But the Eagles punt the ball away. They punt the ball away. They flip the field position right off the bat. Well, Chiefs can't really do anything. They get the ball right back. And boom, the Eagles are marching. And what is it? Bomb shot down the field from Jalen to a wide receiver. Put you down on the 1 yard line. Tush push, touchdown. You're in. The Eagles absolutely just controlled the entire tempo of the game from the offensive line of scrimmage. And it was just beautiful. Beautiful approach. Early in the game, we're sitting here in our friends group chat, and I got a buddy who goes, "This is about to be a blowout." And I'm sitting here going, "You know what? You're right. Look at Jalen Hurts' eyes. Look at Saquon Barkley's eyes. There was never any, we are so excited to score. Rah, 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 rah. We're going to do backflips because we got to the end zone for one time because we took a lead." It was very, very, very businesslike the entire game. It was an approach. It was really, it looked like, to me, what I felt through the TV screen was Jalen Hurts said, "Remember my phone background from 2 years ago, walking off this dadgum field to red and white confetti all falling around me because we lost the Chiefs." It looked like we're here to get our lick back is what it looked like to me. And that's exactly what they did. Exactly what they did. Now you have the interception. Next couple of drives, you get almost down. You get down to the red zone, and third and long. Jalen puts up a long shot. It gets intercepted on the 1 yard line. Okay, that's your one negative, really, Jalen, the entire game. And if that's your negative, this is what led me into agreeing with my friend. All of Jalen's misses, even the interception, were good misses. They were high and outside. My guy had a chance at it. Okay, you can talk about the interception. It's a bad decision. But what was it really? You're either looking at a really long field goal on 3rd and 10 on the incompletion, or you are looking at 1st and goal, or you're looking at you threw an interception and the Chiefs, whose offense hasn't done anything yet, is down on the 1 yard line. I mean, is that really the worst case scenario? Yeah, you missed out on points, but the Chiefs are backed up, and what do they do right after that? 3 and out. Bam, bam, bam. The pressure was on the Chiefs at that point. Oh my gosh, the pressure was on the Chiefs offense majorly at that point. And what ended up happening? They punt the ball back away, and you end up working the ball right down the field, and you get your 10 points, or you get your lead, 2-score lead. And from there, you're still thinking, why aren't you really going for it, ramping up? Eagles. The Eagles were in first gear the entire night from an offensive perspective. It was, when do we want to press? If we want to press, we're going to press. Like your touchdown pass to AJ Brown, it didn't come until, what was that? That put you up 17-0. It didn't come until late. You have been establishing the run. We have been pounding your tail. You're going to come up and defend this run. And then AJ Brown wide open. Just a masterclass from the Eagles. Masterclass from the Eagles, really, from an offensive standpoint. And then what they did offensively, it turns around and helps the defense. Turns around and gives the Eagles defense just everything that they need. Because, all right, our offense is controlling the ball. Our offense is running the ball down. Our offense is pounding the rock. Our offense is controlling the line of scrimmage. Our offense is controlling time of possession. And our defense is over here resting. Our defense is over here cooling. Well, the Chiefs' offense is feeling the pressure. Boom, you go out on the next. I mean, the Chiefs' offensive line was eaten alive. By the Eagles' defensive line. They're rushing for the whole night. I think I read a stat that the Eagles did not blitz. Not one time. Four-man pressure, 4 or fewer, was eating the Chiefs alive. And I think that you do that because of the game flow. So really, really just a masterclass for the Philadelphia Eagles coaching department. And just, look, so proud of you, Jalen Hurts. So proud of you. beaming with pride. And look, we'll go fanboy for a moment. Look, he gets to Tuscaloosa. He takes the starting job. And from the jump, he can't be a quarterback. From the jump, he's a running back. He can't read a defense. That first year, was it 2016 SEC Offensive Player of the Year? It's just incredible. Now, a lot of it was running, but the man did throw the football. I do think that Jalen a little bit got sucked into Nick Saban's don't turn the football over, and I think that ultimately cost him the starting job here in Tuscaloosa because I think he played with a little too much caution. But he learned how to be a quarterback here in Tuscaloosa. Dan Enos, the year that he is sitting on the bench. He's sitting on the bench, learning how to read a defense. He gets thrown into the SEC championship game, and it is not his legs, but it is his arm reading that defense, just leading Alabama to victory in the SEC championship game. Was that 2018? Oh my goodness, just beautiful full circle moment. Then he goes to Oklahoma, and Lincoln Riley. People, it's the Lincoln Riley system. No, he learned and got better at Oklahoma. And he goes to Philly, second round draft pick. Oh, they're going to change him to a running back. Oh, he can't this, he can't that. And now here he is, 4 years in the league. 4 years in the league. My man's been to 2 Super Bowls, won one of them, won 2 NFC East titles. What was the record that I put down, Joe? I wrote it last night. What's his overall record? He is now, as a starter for the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, shoot. Oh, somebody get added a lot to my article, which is A-OK. Perfect. I appreciate that. As the head coach, as the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, now he's 52-23. 52-23. I would take that record on my team any day. What was he at Alabama? Like 26-2? Was that it? 21-2? Just absolutely wild what Jalen Hurts has done. And look, you may not love this, but I'll take it right into a personal moment. Jalen Hurts, what I was thinking about last night was John, 13-7? Is that Jalen Hurts continually using that as kind of his maxim, basically. Jesus replied, "You do not know what I am doing, but later you will understand." And last night, I think everything that Jalen Hurts has been through, getting benched at Alabama, just the detractors, you can't be a quarterback, you're going to be a running back, you're not even a top 5 quarterback. Oh, you're only good because of your offensive line. You're only good because of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Oh, scheme merchant this, scheme merchant that. Super Bowl MVP, man. Super Bowl MVP. You do not know what I am doing, but later you will understand. And Jalen Hurts, no matter what he's dealt with, he had a spicy interview here at Alabama the year that he and Tua were doing his thing. But even then, it was always, I trust in the Lord, I trust God. God's plan for me. God's great through the highs and lows. You heard him say that many times last night. God is great through the highs and lows. Man, you do not know what I am doing, but later you will understand. Jalen Hurts, just bravo, well done. I think that I hope that I echo all of your sentiments for Jalen Hurts as you enjoyed him rising to the top of the NFL mountaintop. Really just bravo, well done. So the NFL season's over. I'm okay, great. Draft season is upon us. Welcome into perfect time for my Chicago Bears to go win the offseason again. I'm still seeing a lot of Pro Football Focus mock draft has Tyler Booker going in the second round. You're wrong. Tyler Booker is going in the first 32 picks. I'm sorry. Maybe this will be a funny clip when he doesn't, if he doesn't. But I will be shocked if he is not a first-round pick. I will really be shocked at that. So Pro Football Focus, you need to update your model. I'm seeing a lot of my Bears fans friends mocking Tyler Booker as a second-round draft pick. I think it was at 41 for our Bears. Now, I don't think he's going to be there, guys. Y'all need to go up and slot him in at 10 if you want him on the team. Let's keep going to the Super Bowl. We'll bring Mason into this tomorrow, and you guys can always jump in and let us know on the comments at Joe Gaither 6 or use the phone line 205-462-7340 extension 800. If you have thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show, that's why we are going to finish this show. Kendrick Lamar rubbed some people the wrong way last night. Maybe rubbed you the wrong way. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not reading the room correctly. I received numerous messages from different people. Oh, do you like this? Is this good? Is this this? Is this that? First off, we got to talk about Kendrick Lamar first. Who he is and what the goal was. Kendrick Lamar has always been a bit of an activist. Maybe that's not the right word for it, but a bit of a I mean, my man won a Pulitzer for his writing. Kendrick Lamar has always been one to push the envelope and to send a message. Not really a rapper that's going to just, not really a rapper who's just going to mumble into a microphone and say nothing to a funny beat and make you feel good. That's not really his message. That's not really his lane. His lane is to kind of, I mean, look, stand up for the black community for sure. Absolutely stand up for the black community, African American community. I think that his message has always been one of, hey, I'm going to make you look in the mirror a little bit. I'm going to talk about issues facing my community. I'm going to talk about issues that I grew up with. And so what happened last night? Kendrick Lamar avoided a lot of his main hits. I mean, he did play the big old hit. He played Not Like Us towards the end. But look, to me, he used Not Like Us as the tease, as the hook to keep you, when's he going to play Not Like Us? When's he going to play Not Like Us? And obviously everybody, Not Like Us because it won so many Grammys, so many awards this past year. And obviously the internet beef between he and Drake has just been off the charts wild. So he uses Not Like Us, but I really, really loved it. I loved Kendrick. It was quintessential Kendrick Lamar. People, he didn't play the hit, so I just want to be entertained. He did. It was quintessential Kendrick Lamar. He opens it up with the graphic at the very beginning, the cheat code. It was XO, circle, triangle, this, that, and the other. Well, that's a PlayStation cheat code, is what I'm reading. And like, goodness gracious, everything is a message for Kendrick Lamar. The PlayStation cheat code is a Jurassic Park cheat code for unlimited lives at the beginning of the game. What's he saying? Oh man, if you've got the cheat code, you've got unlimited lives. You're going to be, ahead of the game. Maybe a little privilege there. I mean, basically, he's throwing a lot of social issues in the face of everyone. I mean, everybody's watching Super Bowl. He's throwing a lot of these social issues in the face of the powerful people that are at the Super Bowl. It might have been, was it the first time ever the sitting president has been at the Super Bowl? How much money did that cost? Where is Doge for that? Okay. So he's throwing these messages, and I don't even think that many people got it. And that's what I think is really a lot of the irony. You had many people, oh, look at the American flag. It's so good. Well, look at the American flag imagery. It's broken. You've got half the group on one side, half the group on the other side, and Kendrick in the middle. It's very clearly a symbol of division, very clearly a symbol of, I'm not liking the direction of what this is going. You got Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, Uncle Tom, really telling him, calm down, Kendrick Lamar. Be nice, Kendrick Lamar. Play nice. Don't make any noise. Don't ruffle any feathers. Very much playing the Uncle Tom, Uncle Sam kind of. He goes, this is the greatest American game. I mean, he's very much embellishing, playing up the really kind of embodying the Django Unchained role that he did, playing the house slave that he played in Django Unchained. I just thought it was, I mean, the intent was to make you uncomfortable. That was it. The intent was, I want to make you uncomfortable. I want to, like, you got background dancers spoofing the Nazi salute in the background. A couple of minutes in, you bring the hook is, I'm gonna make fun of Drake this rapper that I've exposed as a pedophile and as kind of a weird guy. I'm going to make fun of Drake. That's the hook. Everybody come in and let's all make fun of Drake together. But because you think this song, Not Like Us, is so hot and everybody likes it and everybody loves, it makes you feel good, I'm going to take this 12 minutes to give my commentary on America. And I just thought, first, it was quintessential Kendrick Lamar. People are, that's not what a Super Bowl is for. Okay, that's fine. I agree with you. They should have they should have just put on Teeny Bopper XYZ, and they could have just played 5 hits and walked off the stage, and everybody would have felt good, and let's get into the second half. But when you hire Kendrick Lamar to do your halftime show, that's exactly what you're going to get, a message. You're going to get a commentary on the state of things. He opens it up. What does he say? The revolution's televised. You got you're here at the right time, but I'm the wrong guy. Like, I'm about to say some things that are going to really upset you. I think that a lot of it was lost in the hip hop because, you got to turn your ears to fast. You got to turn your ears to level fast, and you got to listen to a lot of imagery, and you got to listen. You got to try to put together a lot of innuendo at the same time. So I think it makes it a little bit difficult, but I also think that that's quintessential Kendrick Lamar art. I mean, I Love You, My Mother text me, did you like that? Are you a Kendrick Lamar fan? I said, yes, that was excellent. That was perfect. And she said, I just don't get it. And I think that's fine. I think that I wouldn't really expect my mom to get it. Love you, Mom. Absolutely love you. And thank you for communicating yesterday during the Super Bowl. Great time. Wouldn't really expect her to get it because a lot of the lingo is, a lot of the lexicon is, laden in internet language, laden in subculture. And really, I think a lot of the things that he was trying to say was really trying to make a commentary without making it that obvious. Now, the Uncle Sam, the Samuel L. Jackson stuff was extremely obvious. The American flag stuff was extremely obvious. But I think a lot of the commentary, a lot of some of the stuff that he was doing was trying to go under the radar. Because if you just turn your brain off and you just listen for Not Like Us, then you got your 2 minutes of okay, I'm jamming to this. But if you were dialed in to what he was saying, I think he was giving a big old middle finger to the current state of the country. And that's exactly who Kendrick Lamar is. And so for me, I wasn't surprised by it. I was expecting it. I was expecting you're about to get 12 minutes of kind of an artistic. I mean, remember what he did at the Grammys where he came out there, golly, and parodied 12 Years a Slave. Like, this is very much the lane that Kendrick Lamar is in, pretty much continuously. I think the hook was Not Like Us, and I think obviously the NFL wanted to capitalize off the popularity of that song, massively popular song. Not sure that they really bargained for the rest, but I'm also not sure that they really grasped the rest of it because I think it was so woven in that that I think that it was very easy to miss. Which, some people I've got people who are rightfully saying, "Hey, if it was that easy to miss it, maybe the message wasn't that strong." Maybe so, but I think that you kind of had to listen for it. I think you kind of had to look for it. I think you kind of had to be ready for it. Some of the messages that Kendrick Lamar was trying to convey. On the fun side, look, you got Serena Williams out there. You got Serena Williams out there, and people are like, what's she doing out there? Well, Serena and Drake apparently had a dating thing, and remember, Drake is kind of the subject of this. We're clowning on Drake, so we're going to bring out Drake's ex-girlfriend or ex-fling, ex-whatever, celebrities, weird stuff. I don't know, dated, married, girlfriend, whatever. They had a thing, and so it's kind of, and same thing for SZA, the girl that he brought out to play that kind of slower song. Apparently, SZA and Drake had a romantic encounter as well, and now they don't. And so it was all just it was all just Kendrick Lamar. I want to make a commentary on America while also basically putting a rubber stamp on this argument with Drake, and they definitely did that. You have game over in the background on lights. Basically, this is a big old game, and this is the last move for us. I thought it was I enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, that's okay. Obviously, it was not a typical halftime show. It was not. It was not, hey, here's a superstar artist. They can play their 5 biggest hits and get off the stage. It was absolutely not that. And it never was going to be that. To me, whenever you hire, if you hire Kendrick Lamar, you expect him to take it in a very Kendrick Lamar direction, kind of commentary art, kind of deeper than just, oh, here's these 5 lyrics I can string together and make it sound good. I think that he was really, really trying to make a lot of points. I encourage you to go back and it's 12 minutes and maybe rewatch it and try to see what you see, because I think that there was a lot in there. I want to kind of cut the conversation off right here because I know Mason's going to have a lot of comments on the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. I know Mason's going to have a lot of comments on Alabama and Arkansas, Alabama and Texas. As we get into it this week, it's going to be a brand new week on the Joe Gaither Show. We'll talk softball. We'll mention that tomorrow. Alabama softball going 4-1 this weekend. Pretty good. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3, 4, and 1. No, 4 and 1. Beat Michigan State, beat Washington twice, and beat Western Michigan. 4 and 1. Lost to Arizona at the Candrea Classic. Really, really strong showing from what I was able to read, what I was able to see from the softball team. You set a new. You tied a single game record, 10 stolen bases against Western Michigan. You had a young lady hit a 3-run home run as well for a freshman. So does this team? You got some bats, you got some offense. Coach Patrick Murphy, okay, getting excited for this softball season. Clearwater Invitational is coming up next for the ladies. The ladies are going down to Clearwater, Florida, to take on a lot of big name schools, UCLA, Oklahoma State, a lot of big name schools are going to be at that event. That's going to happen this coming weekend. So we got a lot of sports ahead of us. Baseball gets started this weekend. Softball gets weekend number 2. Basketball, goodness gracious. All week long, I want you to call 205-462-7340, extension 800, and leave me your thoughts on the Iron Bowl of basketball. You heard us play the voicemails we got over the weekend. All the voicemails, as long as you don't curse, I'll play it. If you curse, I'll hit a beep beep. I'll censor it out in some sort of way to make it playable. But you don't have to tell me your name if you don't want to. You can. We'd love that, so we know how to address you on the voicemail line. But whatever your thoughts on the Iron Bowl of basketball, if you did not like the halftime show, you're welcome to hear that, to play that as well. 205-462-7340, extension 800. I'm going to get out of here for the day. We'll have Mason Woods back with us tomorrow right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral and BamaCentral.com.